How to train a neural network. How to teach a neural network to understand things, to distinguish, to recognize. As far as human is concerned, when we are born, after that we start learning. By experience, people tell us. So we know that this is a dog. And if a cat is there, we can easily find out that this is not a dog but a cat. And if another dog is there, we can always say that this is also a dog. That is, this becomes possible as our brain gets trained the day we were born. We can distinguish, we can recognize. What about artificial neural network? As artificial neural network is mimicking and inspired by human brain. See, machine are just wire and electronic component. So we need to train a neural network to recognize and distinguish objects and patterns. This is a dog, this is a cat, and how to recognize it, how to differentiate it, and to remember also sometime. So we need to train a neural network. So let's train our network to predict someone's gender given their weight and height. So the sex or gender, whether it is a male or a female, this we are going to find out. The input will be weight and height. We'll call it as x1 and x2 about our discussion later. So this is our sample example. So this is a very basic example. You have 4 people, 4 name: Alice, Bob, Charlie, Dinah. Alice is a female, Dinah is a female, Bob is a male, and Charlie is also a male. They have a weight, we are calling it as x1, height, we are calling it as x2. So this is the data or measurement or input data. So now we want a result. So we want the neural network to tell us if it is male, it is 0. And when it predicts as a female, then it should be 1. That is, for male, the output should be 0. For a female, the output should be 1. This is pre-decided. This is our actual value or true value. True value. Now these numbers are not very big, but there will be numbers which will be quite higher. So you have to decrease them. So what we can do? We can just take the mean of these numbers and subtract that mean from all these numbers. This is one way. There are different ways, but the best way is to subtract every number from the mean. And you can take an arbitrary number also. For example, we have chosen 135. Now this 135 we have subtracted from every number just to make this number to compute in a say computationally inexpensive way. That is, we just want to shift the data to make it easier to use. So 133 minus 135 is minus 2, 65 minus 66 is minus 1. This can be done with all the numbers. Okay. So before we train our neural network, we first need a way to quantify how good this neural network is doing so that it can try to do better. That is, it is giving us some number, but whether it is good or bad, how to know that? For example, if I tell you to get $10 from someone and you got only $8, that is, the difference is $2. That is, still you need to get $2 from him because I ordered you or I requested you to get $10. So this difference is 2. That is the actual value and the predicted value and the real value. The difference of that is the true value and the predicted value. This is the difference. For example, if I asked for you to get $8, you got 10. So you have got $2 extra. This is also an error. Okay. So this difference of the true value and the prediction value should be as least as possible so that we get the actual result. So we just want the positive number. So what we will do, we'll take this number, that is the true number and predicted number, and we'll just square them in order to get rid of this negative value. This is just a way, that is mean squared error is just a way to know that this is the loss. So this is the formula 1 by n sigma 1 I equals 1 to n y true minus y prediction. So let us understand each value of this if you are not aware. N is the number of samples, which is 4 here. Alice, Bob, Charlie, Dinah. So there are 4 n. So these two will be n. Y true, or you can say first y. Y represent the variable being predicted, which is gender here. Y is the value which we want because the input are weight and height, but output is gender. So y is actually gender which we want. What is y sub true? This true is the value of the variable that is the correct answer. For example, Alice. Alice is a female, so this is the true value of Alice is 1. F should be, because she is female, Alice, the true value for Alice, y true should be 1 because it's female. For Bob it will be 0. This is the correct number. And what is y sub predicted? This is the predicted value of the variable, that is, it is whatever our network is producing or outputting at the output layer. That is, see, 10, what we wanted was the true value, 8 you got from someone is the predicted value, and we subtract them, we square them. So in order to square, we just don't want negative number. This is why this is basically called as the squared error. So what do we want? Our loss function is simply taking the average over all squared errors. The better our prediction are, the lower our loss will be. Better prediction, low loss, because if I ask for 10, you get 10, there is no loss. Everything is fine. So we need to train a network. That just means we want to minimize the loss. That is, the actual value and the predicted value should be as close as possible. The difference should be as least as possible. So what we do here, this is the example calculation of mean squared error. So let us assume that our this network is producing always 0. That is, the predicted value is the predictive means the output value is always coming as say 0. It understands, it is confident that all humans are male. So what would be the loss? So in order to compute the loss, because y predicted is always 0, the network is always saying it is all are 0, all are male. So we'll use this formula. Since y prediction for this neural network or this result is always 0, the true value we always know. Alice is a female, Dinah is a female, so 1 1. Bob and Charlie are male, so 0 0. And we are saying that y prediction, the network is always giving us only 0. It is saying that everyone is 0, everyone is a male. So we will take the difference, that is y true minus y prediction, and then we'll square them, all of them. We'll take the subtraction of these two columns and square them, subtract and square them, and then we'll add them. So when we add them, this is 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1. Essentially we are adding them. So this is y true minus y prediction whole square, actual value minus the correct answer minus the predicted answer, and then we divide it by 4 because there are 4 values. So we have to divide by the 4 so they get the mean. Mean always we divide by the number of samples. So this is now 0.5. So 0.5 is a great difference. Actual value and predicted value, the difference is 0.5. So the mean squared error is 0.5. And we want this mean square error to be least as possible. If possible, we want it to be 0. Because we want our neural network to give us exact result. So our clear goal is to minimize this loss. So in order to make things simpler, we had 4 inputs or 4 samples. We will take only one, Alice. We are just taking Alice now. Okay. So I told you about mean square error. This is for one person, what it will be, because it is all about what neural network is giving us and what we are expecting. What is y? This is the true value and the predicted value. So we want this error to be as least as possible. So now you see here, this is our layer. This is just assume that this is the layer, or this is the neural network we are forming for this problem to be solved. Okay, So we need a loss function, because loss will be dependent on what? You know already that loss will be dependent on weight and biases. Because if whatever weight is there, whatever biases is there, this is the final result. I mean, it gives us the final output at the output layer. So in order to change this to get this mean squared error less, we have to change the value of weight and biases. Okay, we have to manage weight and biases in such a way we get a proper value. That is, we want to have a loss function which is only based on weights and biases only, because actual function of every neuron is nothing but multiplication of weight and biases, and the final result will be there. So the loss function is basically dependent on weight and biases. This is our loss function. How many weights are there? If I want to write a function, there will be variables. So W1, W2, W3, W4, W5, W6, all these weights on different inputs or different message passing. So there are 6 W1 to W6, and there are biases also, B1, B2, B3. So now just assume for one, what weight we have to change W1 so that we can get a less error, mean squared error is less. But I am just going to tell you about W1. We have to do it for every weight. Please remember, every weight. W1, W2, W3, W4, W5, W6. So when we have a function in which we have so many variables and we just want to tweak or improve or work upon W1, that will only be possible when we use partial derivative. Okay? Partial derivative, remember, of any function having several variables, it is just derivative with respect to one of those variables where the others are held constant. So when we are working with W1, other can be assumed to be constant. That is why in order to make this loss function, we haven't made it, we are going to make it, we need a partial derivative. I hope you got the idea why we are using partial derivative, because there are so many variables, W1, W6, B1 till B3. So since we have taken only one example, means Alice, so it will be 1, n will be 1, and since Alice is a female, so we put y2 as 1. So finally this MSE will be L1 minus y prediction. Now we want to del L by del W1, that is the function we have to make, and then it has to be differentiated partially with respect to W1, because we are only tweaking or improving or working upon W1 now. So we know the chain rule. Del L by del W1 can be written as del L by del Y prediction into del Y prediction by del W1. Now you will ask why this del Y prediction has come, because we know the value of del Y prediction, and because it is chain rule, if you cancel these two, del Y prediction, it will be eventually equal to del L by del W1 only. Okay. So whatever you are getting at the final value, it is dependent on the W5, O1 is dependent on W5, W6. W5, W6 is dependent on W1, W2. So all the weights, when they will be changed, then only the output will change. So every output is dependent on the previous input, and likewise. That is why we need a kind of all the inputs to be here. So del L by del Y prediction, del by L is MSE only. So this is 1 minus prediction whole square. Just assume that Y prediction is X here. So you just have to do d by dx of 1 minus x square. I hope you'll be able to do. This is just a differentiation of 1 minus x whole square. So the first one, we got this term. What about the del Y prediction by del W1? See, we have a prediction value. How to get the prediction value? We know how neuron works. W5 for this O1, what we are going to get? H1 into W5, H2 into W6 plus B3. We already know this. And this has to be passed through an activation function. We are using sigmoid activation function here. So this Y prediction is the actual prediction by the neural network, which is equal to W5 into H1 plus W6 into H2 plus B3. Now this del Y prediction by del W1, we have to do something with this. So we'll again apply the chain rule here. Del Y prediction by del W1 can be written as del Y prediction by del H1 into del H1 by del W1. Why we have introduced del H1? Because O1 is eventually relating to H1 and O1 is relating to H2 because H1 H2 are the hidden layers, hidden neurons of a layer. So we are just introducing things so that O1 should be related to the weights and the previous neurons. Okay. So now let us take the differentiation. Simple differentiation with respect to H1. H1 is the only variable, others are constant. So W5 will come outside and there will be F dash, means the function, whatever function we are using here, we are using sigmoid activation function, we are taking the F dash or the differentiation of that. So how about del H1 by del W1, because this is still remaining. Del H1 by del W1. So we can write this del H1 by W1. How H1 can be computed? H1 is simply W1 into X1 plus W into X2 plus B1. So H1 is there. So now we can find out del H1 by del W1. Here W1 is a variable, so only X1 will come out because that is the only variable, others are constant. And F, the function will be F dash, means you have to take the differentiation also. Okay. So partial derivative you need to know, then you will be able to understand this. Okay. So now this F dash is coming 2 times. So the activation function which we have used, it is saying that we have to take, now it is mandatory to take the differentiation. So fx is simply 1 by 1 plus e to the power minus x. So we are taking the differentiation and writing in a nicer way. Fx into 1 minus fx. We are going to use this. So even if you don't understand, the only thing is del L by del W1, that is the loss function. We have made it in such a way so that all the previous values, previous neurons, outputs and the weights are being inputted or are being, you can say, collected. So finally del L by del W1, which we started saying, is now del L by del Y prediction into del Y prediction by del H1 into del H1 by del W1. Because prediction is dependent on H1 also, and we are talking about the weight, and weight W1 is only related to H1. So we have to introduce H1 also and W1 also. So this is called the back propagation. This is only, we call it as back propagation because writing a partial derivative so that others are included is back propagation. So whatever we have just understood, we just took one input, that is the LS. We had 4 earlier. So X1 is the weight, which is -2 here. X2 is -1. These two are being inputted. We want to find out the gender. So we will compute the H1, we'll compute the H2 same in the similar way which I just showed you. Means I showed you the formula, now we are doing the actual calculation. So what will be H1? X1 into W1 plus X2 into W2 plus bias. But just for simplicity, let us assume all the weights are 1, all the biases are 0. So how H1 will be computed? H1 will be simply W1 X1 plus W X2 plus B1. W1 W2 are 1, B1 is also 0. So it will be -2 plus -3, that is -3, and we will pass it through the function. Sigmoid function f -3, it is going to give you 0.0474. So H1 output, that this H1 hidden layer neuron will give you output as 0.0474. Same thing we'll do with H2. So what this neuron is going to give us the result? It will be X1 into W3 plus X2 into W4 plus bias. Because the weights we have assumed to be 1, biases as 0. Finally, you will all get a -3 here and you will pass it through the function. Activation function f -3 is going to be 0.0474. So H1 H2 output is known. This O1 is final output layer neuron. So what this neuron is going to get? W5 into the output from H1 and W6 into output from H2. So we multiply these two and then we will add the bias because we have assumed weight to be 1 and bias to be 0. It's simply X1 plus this H1 plus H2. So H1 is 0.0474, likewise H2, and this is going to be, we pass it through activation function, 0.524. So for 0.524, neither it is a male nor it is a female. So Alice is male or female. This neural network is not predicting. So we already had a loss function, we already derived it. So now this has to be used so that we can tell W1, or we can change the W1 and W2 till W6, that this weight should be changed so that we get a proper result, because we are not getting a proper result. I am just telling you about W1. This has to be done for all the weights here in your neural network. Okay. So how to do this? Del L, I'm just telling about weight 1. You have to do it for W till W6. So first term is minus 2 into 1 minus y prediction. I hope you got the idea I earlier explained. So 0.524 will be y prediction. Second term also, this formula we had, this f dash, as I told you, f dash can be directly used as, because it is an activation function, fx into 1 minus fx, because this is a sigmoid function. So 0.249 will come. Always sigmoid function will give you value between 0 and 1. Now the third term, del h1 by del w1, this also formula I just derived. So now you can give the value, because the weights are 1, biases are 0. Just put this value, you will get f minus 3 into 1 minus f minus 3. Negative 2 will come out because it is x1 here. So finally you are going to get fx into 1 minus fx. As I told you, this is activation function and we differentiated it. So these are the 3 terms we got. So first one is this one, second value is this one, and third one is this one. So now let us take this, and because we want to tweak, improve or change the weight 1, what will be the value? 0.0214. So 0.524 is the predicted value from the neural network, which is not correct. We want to change it. So how much we change it? The value will be 0.0214. It is not actually 0.0214 because we need to optimize it. Because you cannot use this direct value, we need to do number of epochs or iteration. Because every time you cannot just say that W1 we give a value and the neural network is going to give you 1 or 0. No. You have to change this W1 value till W6 multiple times until you get a proper value. That is a male and female. So we need something called optimization. So we have all the tools we need to train a neural network. Now we will use an optimization algorithm called stochastic gradient descent, GSD, that tells us how to change our weights and biases to minimize the loss. It's just the update equation. Del L by del W1, 0.0214 we got. That is the value which we got. W1 is the actual weight we have provided. So we have to subtract from the actual weight this value, eta into this value, 0.0214. So what is eta? Eta is nothing but a constant which is a learning rate that is controlling how fast we train. Eta is just a constant value. So the learning rate is a configurable hyperparameter used in the training of neural network that has a small positive value, often in the range of 0.0 to 1.0. So this eta is very important, otherwise it will overfit, it will overshoot, undershoot, underfit, all these things will happen. Please remember del L by del W1 is just a gradient. It is just telling you the slope, negative or positive. So we just want that a proper optimized value, because we'll get local minima, local maxima, all this. We want a proper value. For that we have to do the optimization. Del L by W1 is positive. If it is positive, W1 will decrease, weight will decrease, which will make our loss function decrease. If del L by del W1 is negative, W1 will increase, which makes our L decrease. So this is the final weight you will give, and this iteration will again go on. This will go on till Alice is predicted as a female. I hope you got a fair idea about how to train your neural network. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.